when I'm not on the road with Golfing World, I tend to come and play all of my golf here at my home club of Bearwood Lakes in Berkshire. Now, since my lessons with Mitchell Spearman, there's been a vast improvement across my game, but I'm still leaving quite a lot of shots out there, especially in my short game. So today, Simon Holmes is going to help me to knock a few shots off my scores.
When you've hit 2 good shots and you've got a 40-footer for your birdie, your brain has got to be thinking, right, I have almost statistically no chance of making this.
Okay.
So your job is to create in your mind sort of like a 3-foot hole, right? A 3-foot hole that you're going to putt into. So this is all about, once outside of 20 feet, 3-putt avoidance.
Right.
Okay, 3-putt avoidance. I'm going to show you how to set up a good drill.
Sounds great.
Okay. All right, so Anna, this is how we set up this drill, okay? So a couple of different balls down. Let's say this is like 20 feet, okay?
Yeah.
20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet, and back to 50 feet, okay? So the hole is so tiny up there. So what we're looking is to sort of get like a 3-foot box in your head, right? It's a lot freer to hit to that 3-foot box than it is that tiny little hole.
Yes.
Okay, and statistically, you know, we're not looking to make this is all about avoiding a 3-putt. The process of doing this is to find sort of, you can't memorize this. It's not a case of, okay, you know, 2.5 feet back, 1.5 feet through, or whatever it is you feel like you want to do. You've got to get a feel and a flow for it, and that's practice, okay?
Yeah.
So when I'm coming in here, I want to get a basic read so I can see that this is generally uphill, okay, generally uphill. So maybe I'll, in my mind, think about trying to get the ball a little bit faster up that slope. So I'm not like fighting really hard to get the aiming, okay?
Right.
So the aiming is going to be generally just, let's say, a tiny bit left of the hole. It's all about that freedom and being able to find the feeling.
And you're really aiming for the kind of 3-4 foot.
Yeah, no, 4 foot, 4 foot's a big circle. I want to try to get a 3-foot circle. So if I imagine it's that much bigger, first of all, it frees me up because that's my goal. I'm not really thinking about holding this. It's to get the next one close enough for a stress-free 2-putt.
Sure, because when you look at that tiny hole from here, very intimidating.
Yeah, and you have a 0.5% chance of making this. So your statistically doesn't make any sense. So I like to have a practice stroke where I sort of get a feel of the speed, plenty of looks at the hole to find that feel, and then let it go.
Yeah, it's up there.
Okay, pretty close. You know, I would hope to do better than that though. So you're going to do a much better job on your one here. So
going for a 40-footer, is this?
Yes. Come from behind, kind of give a sense.
Yeah, and can you just kind of give me a few tips on reading the green? Because that's half the battle.
Yeah, it is. So reading the green, you've obviously got a left to right slope here, especially at the beginning, okay? But at the beginning, the ball's going to be traveling quite quickly, so it probably won't take that much of the slope. But if you look at the hole, there's maybe a tiny little bit of left to right there, but it evens it out here, okay? But I would say more than anything on distance, it's how uphill it is, right? Because those are pretty slow.
Yeah.
So to have a practice putt to get a feel for the speed.
Face first. Elbows in.
Yeah, and sort of have a feeling that you really keep it going, so they keep the speed going all the way through to the end. Yeah, here is going to be much less wooden feeling maybe than those 3-footers and 6-footers.
Yeah, a bit freer.
Yeah, freer, and it's kind of chest and arms together.
Go on. It's not a bad pace.
No, that's a good pace. You know, that's a pretty stress-free 2-putt. So let's have another go here. All right, so you try to guess what the green's going to read you out there. So uphill a little bit still, right? You feel that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, and you underplayed how much it was left to right.
Yeah.
So you've got to make sure you sort of get a picture of starting it. Let's say it's 3 holes to the left.
Okay.
Yeah, let it be freer to the finish. So you're not trying to guide it as much.
Yeah.
This is a freer hit.
Okay.
So the most important thing on this distance is how well you hit the ball. Right up there, it feels like you're quite held by the hole. Yes, yeah. So aim that face. Good, and now get your body ready to go. Okay, and now a free hit through. Oh, come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Oh!
But that's an excellent effort, right?
Nice putt.
And you know, your job now is to be able to put down different balls at different distances. You know, I think you learn much better with one ball. You see a lot of guys put down 3 and hit the same putt, but then I think you're only learning from that last putt or trying to solve the mistake you made on the last putt. I think with one ball down, like we just did, from lots of different places, and try to recreate it like it is on the golf course. You know, you're only ever as good at anything in golf as you're on a golf course. You know, you hit 5 great drives on the driving range, you go to the first tee and whack it in the woods. It's that different pressure. So recreate as much as you can in your putting practice the feeling or the situation that you're going to have when you go on the golf course.
Great tips. I particularly like exactly what you said. As soon as you said to me, be free when it comes to this kind of distance, it's very different to the way that you approach it.
Yeah, but you see, I think that's the problem. You see, you know, people get so hole conscious.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, if you think about how it was when we hit 50 feet, it's just a tiny little dot in the landscape. And that's a pressure that I think damages your process. So I think, you know, it's quite tense from 3 feet and 6 feet. Once you get to 20 feet, the hole is in the sort of the back of your mind. Distance control and getting up there comes to the forefront. And then I think freer and more flow, like you're trying to really control to make the putter do a nice arc on the ground. And we want you to get the speed that's going to give you that sort of freedom to get the ball all the way up there.
Brilliant tips on distance putting.
These 2 things, right? This is your homework. Okay? You have a stressed out schedule, but I'm going to come back and test you on these. Okay? That's your homework.
Thank you,
okay, great.
Straight in.